Okie dokie. So this is basically finished except for the handle. And normally I would do it all at the same time. I just kind of ran out of time yesterday. And I'm just looking at this line and making sure that I like it because I can still add a coil in there or whatever I needed to do to make it so I love it. It's very important that I love it. I'll also see if I can get some of those little hole punches out, or at least loose. They'll be easy to get out after they're bisqued, but it's nice to clean it up if I can. Okay. I gotta make up my decisions about, do I want to add a coil? And as I look at this, I think maybe yes. I'm gonna take my silicone tool and just drag it over there. It's tricky to work up above the spout. It's just a tight area. Okay. I think it's okay as is. Just try to blend in all the lines so nothing stands out. It's always great to see, like, where does my eye go? You know, where does my eye go? Both for what I like and also what's standing out, what's not fitting in. Okay, that actually went really well. I'm not gonna add any. Okay, so I've had this handle drying overnight and I kind of used these sponges to prop them inward so they wouldn't hang flat down. Let's see if we can detach that and I'll get a clean bat to work on. Okay, let's make some space right here. And here we go. So first I'm gonna check the size. That's a very tall handle. I'm just gonna bring it down and see if I would like it a little bit lower. I think so. I don't think it has to be that tall. The Ritchie Bellinger handles are huge, but I just think it's unnecessary. It's nice for the form, but I don't know if it's like the most functional. Just looks cool, you know? Okay, let me show that one more time. So I was looking at it like this, which is nice, you know, it is nice, but I think it's just more handle than this teapot needs. So I was just kind of looking at it with a little bit less, just putting it down there to see how that balances. And I like it with a little bit less. So the way that this angle goes, I know I'm gonna have to cut these handles on the angle. So I'll start off, first let me clean this up. Using my soft sponge, just cleaning the handle up. Because inevitably with handling, they get a little bit banged up or fingerprints, or you know, they could be nicer. Okay, great. So much easier to do it now than when it's on the teapot. Okay, so now my angles are going to be like this and that, and I'll just start with some because sometimes some is a lot, and so I'd rather be conservative instead of take too much off. So I took off that much. And then I also want to look from here to here. Sometimes you're going to be attaching the back handle lower, so you just want to look. I want mine pretty symmetrical. and find this and cut it at an angle. So I was just looking to make this symmetrical, and then I'll put it on there and see how that looks. And then I'll do one more little set of cuts. To me, that looks really good. It looks really balanced. Yeah, and then the last cut is going to be just this angle here, so this fits better. So a little stronger on both sides of an angle. And that is cutting this more like this. And this. This is kind of like the most common teapot I've made in my life is this basic shape. But usually mine have shorter spouts, so that's the growth for me here, or the exploration is a longer spout. And then I've either put on this type of over-the-top handle or 2 clay lugs here for the cane handle. And I'll do an example of those for you also. Okay, time for some slip. Oh wait, I'm gonna score this up too. Let me do, instead of doing the water here, because I don't really want to get it on the spout, let me just place this one more time and check it this way. So just like everything, we want to check from a few different angles, a few different times. And then I'm just going to hold this in place and trace it with my pin tool. Oopsie. Like that. And like, oopsie. You also want to think about getting the lid off. Am I going to be able to get the lid off of this pot easily? And straight over the spout. And this one, yes, that's an easy removal. But if you have a long flange, sometimes you can bump up against your handle in a way that's not great. So now I've got my marks there, and I will choose the best tool for this job, which I think might be this guy. I took this bristle brush and separated out most of it because that was just way too big for me. I didn't need all that stuff. So let me score that up. And I thought I made a ding somewhere, so let me see if I can find that ding and fix it. Maybe it was that. Oh, that was what it was.
How's it looking, babe?
I just peeked in and it looked fine.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't unload it yet. It's still like 4:50.
It's pretty warm. Do you want to open the garage and have the heat go out?
The garage is open.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it's so warm in here. Do you want to open that window and let the heat
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
Because it's going to be a hot day, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now it's all scored up.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here and on both sides of the handle. Let me just double check and make sure this is the way I wanted it. Yes. So I'll use a brush this time. Sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use my fingers. I want to keep my hands clean. And so I'm just going to use the brush. I'm taking stuff straight out of my splash pan. One of the great benefits of not cleaning your wheel all the time is you always have all that amazing slip right there. Okay. Okie dokie. Let me get all the little crummies away. Something is kind of hard to clean. You know, these spots can be hard to clean. Okay. So one last little check of the handle. I can still clean it up a little bit, but I don't want anything glaring on it. Okay. Place it, check it, keep checking it because it really, really stinks when you put the handle on and then you realize you didn't put it on, you know, level. Okay, and then just gently work it in. Again, the slip was on the handle, not on the pot, so I have a cleaner, less cleaning up because it's more precise. And I'll just do the parts that I can do first easily. Here also, if you need to add a little clay, you know, I can take a little bit of the stuff that I just cut off, and there's a part right there that's not looking great, so I'm gonna stick my little chunk of clay that I just picked off in water. I just tried to get about the right size. Wasn't cutting a particular shape. I just wanted the right amount to just fit into that hole to blend it in. Okay, see if I can do that with my sponge. Sometimes with videos I'm rushing a little bit, and so now I see some spots here that I could have done a little bit better with cleaning up my handle. This is the spot where I was like, sometimes it's hard to get in there and do anything after you've attached it. Let me see if I can rotate this silicone thing. Oh, it's got a little dry clay on it. Clean tools make such a big difference. Don't wind up giving yourself more work to do. Okay, let's see if I can get in there a little bit. I've been doing this with a brush, but I'm just kind of exploring with the silicone tool and seeing what kinds of things it's good for. So let me go to my brush. I'm getting the slip out of it and just getting some water on it. And now I'll just brush around the attachment, especially on this inside part where I couldn't get my finger at all. Okay. Oh, I've got a little, let's call it a September resolution instead of New Year's resolution. September resolution to pay more attention to the camera angles and try to get better camera angles, because sometimes I know it could be better. Okay. Okay. So let's make sure, yes, I cut the hole in the spout to some of the little important teapot pieces, making sure I didn't forget them. And just last little finishing touches. You know, some of this, if you miss it, you can sand after the bisque when it's just more stable and you can really get in there with a piece of sandpaper or something. If you need to. I'm going to support the handle as I kind of touch up some spots that I can still see. I'm just gently touching it, just like we touch the pot if we're working on it, using two hands instead of one. There's no pressure there, it's just a stability thing for both me and for the pot. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I think this one is done. Of course, and I see something. This handle is not perfectly attached yet. Okay, that's much better. Sometimes people, including me, will add a little thumb piece right here. You'd want to think like in pouring this, where would it go? And for me, it would go, if I really wanted to pick this up and pour it, my hand would be here, so my thumb thing would go right about there. I don't want to add it because I don't think it adds to the form of the teapot, but it does add to the function. So that's a potter's choice, whatever you want to do. Feel free to add a little thing. Just don't put it somewhere random. You really have to think, how would I pick up this teapot to pour it? Where would my hand be? And wherever your thumb is, that's where it should be, right? Right about there. So I'd say, it's like, well, it's going to be different for every teapot, so we don't want to make a rule about it because things go differently. But just think about the center of gravity of the teapot and how you would pick it up if you were going to pour it. Okay,